Welcome back to Cali Brick Clique. I am here with SHYtimeisMytime, Ninja, and me, the Plastic Architect. And today we're going to be talking about a few different, possibly controversial, but hopefully interesting things to keep you guys entertained for around an hour, usually is what we do. But first of all, let's get into the Lego nonsense that we still love and talk a little bit about ideas and the fact that we only have one that got through. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's a big thing that a lot of people are kind of irritated about right now. And I honestly think there's a lot of variables that people just don't think about, like especially with the whole, I know we're going back to this, but I didn't want to, but like the whole 60-year thing or 90-year competition, contest.
Oh, we've talked about that so much.
I know, but I had an epiphany with like the reason why they don't want Bionicle to win is because they would have to make new molds for all those pieces. How much money is it going to take to make a set like that to not use again?
Right, just for like a promo set.
Exactly, just for like a one-off set. Like it would be better for them to use a theme. To make it back to a theme, to make that worth doing.
And then they could use the bricks.
I'm so sorry. My cat is sitting on my work computer and causing all sorts of shit.
Either way, Claire's trying to make sure her computer doesn't get destroyed. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I understand.
To make a Bionicle set, right? Or not even that. Like, what's the other stuff? Space, right?
Yeah, space.
They'll have to create new
as far as that stuff,
pieces, which is fine. I mean, that's not going to be too much to make those little translucent pieces. But like Castle, though, you don't need to make much.
Yeah, it's just basically bricks stacked together.
So that doesn't cost a lot of money, whereas Bionicle would cost a lot of money to make a set that they're not sure is going to succeed. Anyways, variables, right? Going back to the Lego ideas, I think there's just a lot of other things that we're not taking into consideration, like for the fact that within the past year, ideas has shot up significantly in 10,000 like past votes, right? Is it because there's a lot of people home not trying to figure out what like they're like visiting the sites? Because before COVID, like how many of us really visited the ideas website?
I don't know, like once a year.
Yeah, barely.
It was just like I didn't even vote. I was like, whatever, and I just looked to see, and yeah, never.
So Lego's a very slow moving company. They're not very reactive. You know what I mean? At like right away. So maybe they're keeping their same rule that they've always had before, right? I know it's not 2, but they're being very cautious because what if they were to make 3 sets out of this whole 30-some sets, and then like when they actually get released in 2 years, nobody buys them because everything's back to normal.
Everyone falls out.
That's fair. Yeah.
So they don't know at this point if it's going to work. Maybe they'll probably wait till the next 2 rounds to be able to do it. Because I mean, even like this year alone, how many sets have already gone past review? It's like it's a lot. And there's other things we already know that all the other variables that can come into play, like licensing and things that are kind of
constructability.
Like a lot, and a lot of these are built using 3D rendering without even having to be built like a Lego set, like for real, put together with your hands. So, and we all know how people get when the sets don't look like the same.
Right, like that doesn't look right. Yeah, that's a good point too. You brought up about licensing. Isn't there a lot of like licensed IPs that people use?
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
Like
the past one, it the majority of it was. I think it was like 75%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen like on the website, if you put in if you type in an IP that you can't use, it'll tell you. And if it's something you can use, like it'll let you. It'll still let you upload, but. The fact is, like, if you put that IP, they could still not be able to use it, you know? So
totally.
I mean, at this point, they're like, but why do you let it go all the way to 10,000 votes? Why don't you just stop?
Well, I mean, like Sesame Street, Winnie the Pooh, those were all ideas, right?
Yeah.
Home Alone, all ideas. Those go through. Yeah. And the Friends, Big Bang Theory, Seinfeld, all that stuff. So like, that's not like
to another thing, though.
Yeah.
Like you're mentioning all these licensed themes. Every department within the Lego group has a budget. Right. And licensing comes into that budget. So if you have 10 sets that are all $300 a piece and all of them are licensed, that means your 11th set is going to be 50 pieces non-licensed. So that review period before that point. But that review period for that set can't be the office set. It has to be the globe that everybody hates.
Right, because it can't be licensed. Yeah,
It can't be licensed. It has to be, you know, a certain amount of pieces. You know, you have to take a new mold machine, like new molds into effect. Like, there's a lot of things that people just don't think about, like budgets, manufacturing, licensing, and they think that that Lego can just do whatever they want. Even though I like to say that, they don't.
Right. I mean,
every
especially
department has a restriction, and ideas is one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
Like, especially on our side, we don't really think about that. Like, as AFOLs, we don't really think about all the business stuff. We're just like, hey, why aren't you giving us what we want?
I think we try to, but I think we don't realize how naive we are to it, no matter like what our industry that we're in. Like, it's just, it's such a secretive company, intentionally speaking. And, you know, we're just, I don't know. We're also not COOs and CFOs, you know, just like recognize, you know, our strengths and kind of let things go. But it's also important to critique and discuss, which is what we're doing here. Do you guys think you're going to buy less stuff like after COVID? I'm just like thinking.
I don't know. There's nothing I want right now. Like, I mean, going into March, like there's nothing that I want except for the mech.
Did you buy everything you wanted already, like that came out this year? Or are you like waiting until later? Like I've held off on stuff. That's like, so that's why that's still in my.
Everything that I truly wanted, I already bought.
Okay, so yeah, like I didn't get any of the Chinese New Year sets, and I love.
I can't get those because they're sold out. So
I
want one, but I mean,
same.
I can live without buying it.
There you go. See, that's how it starts.
Without buying any of what we.
See, if I didn't have this Ninjago Gardens thing, I'd probably be really pissed off and sad for like the rest of the year.
I mean, okay, that's different than living, though. You're still alive, right?
Okay, yeah, it's fair.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would be really upset. I have all the Chinese New Year stuff and I want to keep that going and I love it. But I also, speaking of like idiotic decisions, which I have this thing and it actually looks cooler.
That looks really cool.
It looks cool, right? It's like, it's actually in there, like I think it's in there properly, like the castle one.
Are we going to play the challenge coin game?
I don't think these should come out of the acrylic.
I mean, you could take it like that, though.
Purse. I'm sure you have a purse. It's more harder for Ninja and I to keep that in our pocket.
Okay, so you want me to take this out and be like, yes, this drinks on me, or pick a brick cup on me, or whatever.
Hey, if you want,
it's not pick a brick cup on me. It's if you don't have one, you owe me a pick a brick cup.
Okay, okay, fine.
It's either bring that or bring your wallet.
It's cool. It actually does like stand on its own, like the weight of it, like it doesn't have any attachment points like to go on the wall or whatever, but the weight of it will sit alone on a shelf. There is like a little bit of wiggle to it, but you can get probably like a simple, you know, like the little frames like you can that are just you know, you can just stick it. It's that simple.
Can you live without the display stand that it comes with, like that 900 point,
the big one?
That's them all,
too. Yeah.
I got that one. I just don't necessarily. I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I have no idea. Maybe I'll just.
Oh, you got the big one. Okay.
It was just it was an impulse. It was
a way all those points. Could have got another coin for that.
You could have got this.
You know what? It's too late now. You know, I made a mistake.
Yeah, you could have got that.
I know. I definitely.
That's actually pretty cool now.
It's a keychain.
I actually want that more now than one of the coins. I mean, I got 2 out of 4 coins. What's the fourth? The fourth coin's Octane.
There's I think 5 coins.
Yeah, there's Octane. There's Space, and there's just a gold Lego.
There's like a Lego one.
Yeah, gold Lego coin.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Space. I'm waiting for Space.
I have to buy stuff now.
You do. Are you guys not going to get any of the Monkey Kid stuff that got
if Monkey Kid comes out again, release. Well, not the new ones. I don't care for the large set for the new wave looks pretty dope, but I don't want it. The only Monkey Kid sets that I want is the mech and the HQ, which haven't been restocked for a while.
Okay.
But I might just go to a Lego store to go get that. But I'll wait for a double VIP. I think coming in March.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing.
And I can get 2 coins out of that. So.
See, Monkey Kid looks fresh to me, but it's not something I would pick up because it doesn't really work in the city. Like, but if my kids, I mean, it does work. You're right, but not my city. Yeah. Not my city.
No.
But
you can get let's see, you can use it. You can get the HQ and use the
like the little
the cans.
The like shipping containers, you mean?
The shipping containers, yeah. You could
shipping
use those
container houses. That's
affordable housing. Small houses. You know,
It's actually surprisingly expensive to build with those things because it's very difficult. And
It is, yeah.
yeah, your room for error is really small.
well,
But
yeah,
they are
you're working
cool.
with what? How much by? What is
I
that?
don't know. It's like 9
per feet?
feet by, I can't remember what the dimensions are, but I did work on a building for a little bit that had it. And it's cool. It's the reason people think it's like cheaper is that
Is it really though?
No, I don't think it is, because I was looking into that too.
for like if you're doing like a big tower, it takes way faster for the construction schedule is a lot faster, and then the way that you can coordinate all the trades to go in it is pretty cool. The problem is it's done so little that subs and GCs will like inflate their overhead on it because like they're just unsure of it. And then the tolerances are so tiny that like, when you're off an inch by like 100 units or 50 units in a row, that's compounding, and then you're all of a sudden you're off 2 feet by the end of the building. So yeah. So you have to get it like just right, and it will be more and more prevalent. Like I think in Oakland, we're gonna probably do a big tower with it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like sustainable?
I mean, it is. It is that they come. A lot of them come from China. They're like already clean. Like they're older ones that aren't used anymore, and they're like cleaned and.
At least I hope they'd be cleaned.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
They're more modern looking too. Like
yeah, they're dope.
Yeah.
How much what does one of those cost to make?
I have no idea.
Just one. Like just one shipping container.
That's not my job, right? My job is
just give me a fake answer.
I have $9,000. I have no idea. I just made that up. It's
14K.
14 grand?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll say like 60 grand to make like one shipping container livable.
Well, when I was looking into it, you get more than one, and like you put however many.
Yeah, you stack them together like Lego bricks.
Lego. Yeah, there you go.
And make it livable. Like you want to have like plumbing and insulation and stuff. I would set aside probably like 150K for like a 3-bedroom house. If not, it depends where you are, but more. Probably more.
And the size.
Not including the land.
3 bedrooms, yeah.
Not including the land. It's not. You don't do it because you're like, I want to save money. You do it because you're like, this is cool, and I want to build like maybe like a guest house on my property.
Or maybe you're into Lego and you want to just build a house.
Yeah, maybe you make it look like it's like a giant Lego brick stacked, and that's your Lego studio room in the back of your house.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
If anyone
primary color bricks, red, yellow.
You guys
not red. Red, yeah, yellow, blue. That'll be really cool.
And it looks like the 3 of them stacked up, like 2x4s, like enormous 2x4s.
That'll be so saying. You should do it.
I mean, maybe one day I could if I need the land and the motivation. All right, guys. Let us talk a little bit more about some serious shit.
Am I dreading it down already?
I mean, it's a hard one. I think it's really hard. When I think of like land and a guest house and stuff, I'm getting to a point where I'm looking ahead at like the second phase in my life. And, that means like kids and a family. And I think a lot about like what Lego would be with that. And, that gives me a lot of joy, obviously, to share that with others / never touch my stuff. So, obviously I'm going to have to figure out how you guys do it. But also, being a female Lego content creator and being a female Lego lover, I think about like how I would want to incorporate Lego in my hopefully daughter's life, and her friends' lives and whatnot. And at least in my experience, like my parents were totally awesome. And there was never like a toy that I couldn't play with or a sport that I couldn't do or anything like that. I think I was a Ghostbuster for like 6 years in a row for Halloween.
Nice.
And like, they were like, do you want to be the fairy princess? And I was like, get out. Go home, mom. But I'm curious for you guys as parents. Like for me, it's all like fantasy and ideas. And we all know that like once reality hits, like all that goes out the window and you just want to make sure that they're fed and clean. But yeah, how about you guys? You guys both are dads and you have a lot like, in your lives right now, and Lego is still a huge part of it. So I don't know. Shai, you want to start? Or sorry.
Hey, Ninja, you can go, dude.
I mean, I was just gonna say that having a daughter, it just means a lot more friend sets, right?
Yes.
You gotta get used to it.
Yeah.
Shai, you're gonna figure it out, bro. You're gonna figure it out once she gets older.
But why friends? Like, what if she doesn't like it? And what if, like, do you have a son as well, or just?
I do, and it's interesting. He doesn't really go for the friend sets. Like when we're at the store, he looks at like the monster trucks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever because I don't know what it is, but girls are just drawn towards friend sets. My daughter likes them, and so whenever she gets them, he always plays with them. Like he puts his truck down. He's like, I'm done with this. I'm gonna start playing with that. But like I don't tell him not to.
That's
But
good.
he doesn't choose it though. It's weird.
Do you think there's a difference between the box packaging and marketing and like the way that it's like set up on the aisle versus like the set itself when it's at home in the home environment with like all of the other Lego? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that could definitely have a lot to do with it. Cause they're definitely obviously aimed towards girls, so they do that right. But I mean, if he chose it off the shelf though, I would still let him get it though.
I mean, it's just a toy. I mean, like honestly, I bought that Lego rescue mission boat.
Oh, that's right. I've seen that.
It's so cool. And I was building it. I think I built it on Hivestream and I built it on Greg's stream. And I don't know, maybe like our group of friends and our community is like so welcoming and nice that like no matter what I do, they're going to blow smoke up my ass. But like everyone was so supportive and was like, this is super cool. And a ton of people were like, I want to get that. And is it like, why didn't they though in the first place? Is it because like we're not having the friend sets marketed towards us, or like what is it about it?
Maybe it's because it's more towards little girls? Because I was gonna ask you that too, because isn't that like your first friend set that you got?
It's my absolute first one, and I have already bought like 6 more since that.
See what?
So, hey, what is that reaction?
It's going to be a segue preview of what we're going to talk about next week, which is called Lego addiction and drugs.
It's a drug, baby. It's a drug.
That's going to be on your channel, right, Jai? We were supposed to talk about that at the beginning, but yeah. So next week.
That's right.
Cool. Oh yeah, we're on my channel.
We're so bad.
Hey, we got it halfway in, so
yeah, we're not even like a quarter way in.
Okay, a little bit better than last time. Yeah.
Hold on, keep talking.
But no, that I was thinking that too, because like since that was your first set, like were you in a dark age when Friends first came out?
I wasn't. I just had no interest. I was like, I'd go to Target. A lot of like my dark ages, which is like when, I would just like not really share with like a ton of my friends. I'd go by Target mostly, to do regular errands and stuff. And I would go into the Lego aisle and kind of every once in a while grab something. But I never grabbed a friend set. I never even walked down that aisle, because just think about the way that Target works or any of these, these larger stores. Yeah. You walk by like that aisle. If it has only Lego in it, which a lot of times it does, or it has other stuff too, everything is packaged pink, like the Polly Pockets, like the whatever. Every brand has like the same packaging, and they almost kind of blend together. I don't know if it's that way. Yeah, it's just like it's like a blur, and so it's like you kind of just like see the pink and you see the purple, and you just kind of keep going past it.
Like especially for me, yeah. I feel
you. Do you walk by the friend sets before because you felt that they were specifically marketing a female audience and you're trying to get away from that?
Yeah, I don't think it was I was trying to get away from that. I think I was like maybe a little frustrated that like I don't know why I had that kind of internal personal resentment for the fact that was how we choose. And when I say we, I mean we as a society choose to market those products, because the way that we market things is a reflection of what we want and respond to. I do trust in the system of marketing professionals to pick exactly, that's something that we've really perfected, I think, in the last, however many decades, like probably more recent, years even. And the social science and the psychology behind it, I trust it. But I don't know why I'm rejecting it. It's almost like an identity rejection, because maybe as a child, like if I really think about it, I was a tomboy and I enjoyed being a tomboy, and I was bullied for it for a long time. And it took a long time. Like I got into makeup and stuff like kind of later in life, and I embraced it. But maybe this is like deep set in there where it's like I had to like reject all the like cliche girly things. Like I didn't really like dolls and stuff like that at all. Like if they were just like, you kind of play with them once and then they just sit there and you just look at them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Lego and companies like Lego, like, you know, toy companies do a lot of market research to know that that's what girls are attracted to. But are they attracted to it because they're being forced to be attracted to it? Like, is that how they're raised to be?
I don't know.
Pink is a girl. Yeah. Is pink only for girls, or is blue only for boys? I mean, we start that we start that even before they're born.
Yeah, like the things we buy for them, the
That's
clothes
crazy.
that our parents wear, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy because I went the opposite route. I said no pink for my daughter. And I wanted like green or you know, something different.
That's pretty typical here too. I know a lot of like kind of younger parents that have done the same thing. It's like they kind of pick more gender neutral colors.
Right. Just
I mean, Luna's wearing hand-me-downs from Ezra, so she does not.
Hey, it works.
Who didn't?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
she's gonna grow right out of it.
Exactly. I don't care. The only pink she has is what people give us, even toys. The only pink she has are like, she has this like 3 little movable cars that she can sit on and move with. She doesn't play with it. Ezra does. They're all pink. Whatever.
but since I did that though, I went with the green. Now her favorite color is pink.
Well, to be fair to her, you know, they do studies where like they put like colors in front of people and people have different emotions towards it. And people do feel, and when I say people, I mean everybody, feel joy when they see pink. It is a joyful color.
I feel that.
Yeah, and that kind of like color theory and color psychology, I don't even know if that's like the right term of it. I do know that is very serious in market research, and like how, you know, the displays are coordinated and designed. You know, that is a design job, how the displays are set up, how when you check out of the grocery store, what's there. You know, Target's really done it, like elevated it. You go to Starbucks, even like the little shit snacks that, by the way, now are actually pretty good, are, you know, like whatever is like there, you know, that is so specific. But I don't know. I still love like every like minifig, you know, like even just like the basic one. But now I'm interested. The mini doll it's growing on me. I don't know if they're going to be standing next to each other in my city, but I feel like I'm being discriminatory to the mini doll if I don't have them hang out with everybody else. But yeah.
I kind of feel you. I don't like how they can't really like sit down.
Oh, like be connected.
Yeah. Isn't that technically illegal? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can have, there's couches that minifigures can sit on that don't have any.
That is true. There you go. That's thanks to Friends Builds. They have like seats that you can slide their feet into.
Yeah, that's true.
Something like that.
What do you guys think about like the body types that are shown in like the Friends mini dolls?
Like how they're shaped, or like what's designed on them?
The shape versus
like doll-like, right? Isn't that the point?
Yeah, but I'm sure you guys know how Barbie has recently changed.
Yeah,
like,
I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah,
and like plus size.
That's very recent.
It's very recent. If you have, you know, it's one thing to like normalize obesity. It's another thing to normalize normal bodies, you know, which we still have a lot of work to get there. But at the same time, I think there's something valuable to the minifigure body and how there is something androgynous about it in a way. I think there's some value there for people playing with them. But I don't know if kids make the connection. I'm like holding a minifigure while I'm saying this. I don't know if kids I know it's like this one too. I don't know if kids make the connection between their own bodies and like their own identity and the minifig. You guys tell me, like, do you see your kids doing that when they play with them?
My kids aren't there yet.
Okay.
I don't, honestly. My daughter doesn't really like the minifig. She builds her own like little figs out of Brikx, which is interesting to me because that is really. I figure she'll play with the dolls or something.
No. You're the only one messing around with the minifig.
Yeah, that's just me. It's only me. But I don't know. Yeah, It's weird. But they do have like little mini dolls. I don't know if you've seen those that come with like the Disney
Polly
set.
Pocket.
Like in the book thing.
Yeah. She does like those.
Interesting.
So it's weird. Yeah.
Is it because they're like kind of on the go and like the perfect kind of toy to like give to your kids in the back of the car to kind of be creative with while,
Yeah,
you know?
it could be that.
Mhm.
Just like the little, like the clamshell, and keep your little whatever's in there. I don't know. She keeps like little rings in there too.
Yeah,
Little
I
Lego
loved
rings.
Polly Pocket when I was her age, I'm sure. You know?
There was
Yeah, I
a
have
guy
one.
version to that. I forgot
Yeah.
what the name was.
I don't
Mad
know.
Max or something like that.
So, I had a Batman one.
Something Max. I remember that.
That sounds like it. You know what? I on the first Lego Ladies live stream, I don't know why Polly Pocket came into mind, and I Googled it, and I cannot stop thinking about it.
That's funny.
I think I'm gonna get a Polly Pocket just to like see what it is,
There-
because I have my original one.
It is
3.
Mad Max.
It's Mad Max. Okay.
Mighty Max.
Okay. Yeah. I
Let's
just remember I had a
It's
Batman
like,
one.
it's like Polly Pocket, but it's for boys.
boys. Collab video, Shy.
Hey.
Right? I had like 2 of these. I remember that.
That's funny.
But see, you're looking at this right there. There's a big difference between what they market for boys and market for girls. You know, the Polly Pocket stuff was like what houses, princessy stuff, whereas the boys were driving down a dirt road into a skull.
Yeah, see?
Well,
It's always got to be cars.
I think girls apply what's been known or whatever is that girls apply social dynamics and the reflection of like what they see around them to the toys and the games that they're playing with, right? They create like stories that are kind of based on hierarchy, you know, like this is the mom, this is the dad, this is the queen, this is whatever, this is the boyfriend or whatever. And then boys typically tend to have like action, destroy, crash, boom, pow, and then maybe it's like an adventure.
Wow.
You know, that's like the extent of the storyline.
I just felt stupid.
Well,
Make this go boom, boom.
they do say that the development, the brain development of men versus women is at a different rate.
I mean, we're easily entertained. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's still that way. You could be talking to us about 50 things and we're going to be hella confused.
Straight up.
Yeah, and how about how many things can you do at the same time, Shy?
I don't know, just one.
Yeah, that sounds about right. How about you, Ninja?
Yeah, no, same thing. Same, yep. One.
Box.
That's why I don't chew bubblegum.
I'm looking at a box. That's it.
You can't do that in
Don't tell me
walk.
to rearrange the whole room. I'm looking at a box right now.
No, but Shy, you listen to like YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff while you're working.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Purely speculation.
No, I get it. I yeah, but you know, like we think differently. It's just the way we're wired.
Yeah. It's more instant gratification, I think, and like that kind of rather than the social dynamic or whatever, the entire complex story that girls will apply, I think, to their playtime.
Well, then, so how do you feel like for example, when I was working for Lego, they somewhere like a month or 2 in, we weren't allowed to pretty much dictate where a little boy or a little girl should go in the Lego store. It's simply where they end up. It's how we gravitate to what they do. So, like for example, like if a mother, grandmother, father, whatever, and they're asking for a present for their son or daughter, we don't ask by gender. We pretty much just ask what their interests are, and we kind of focus on that. And I've had both negative and positive responses to that, and it's very shocking.
That's interesting. So,
yeah, go for it, Ninja.
well, you said they changed it, like they just started implicating that.
Okay, so you got to think about when you go into a Lego store right now. Okay, I can't really speak to prior my time there or even present day, but I think before I got there, Disney was like towards creator expert towards the right side of the store, like as you're coming in, and to the left is Friends, and I think it's still that way where Friends is still on the left, and then you have like 18 plus on the right. They moved Disney to the left side where Friends is at, and that's currently where it is. So it doesn't really focus on female, girl, pink. It's Disney.
Okay.
It's so you're bringing anyone who's a Disney fan to that side, and you're not isolating that gender to that one side.
Oh, okay. So you.
But
Okay.
stereotypically, Disney is still a little bit more like a little bit more feminine, and
it flows well.
It does flow. But if the theme after Friends that you're gonna think of is like what, like
it's City after that
for girls.
Oh no, but that's next on the list.
No. But I mean, like, for if you're thinking about like what a gender bias or like what a stereotypical girl focus, female focus.
Well, it works out because Disney also has friend theme in it, so like it meshes perfect.
Well, the Disney Princess line.
The Disney Princess line is right there, so it just works perfectly.
But you walk in and there's like a whole section to the left that's just for the female consumer. Okay, we can revisit that.
Yeah.
That's interesting though, because like I heard at Disneyland, they so say like if a little girl walks in a dress, they greet her as a princess, and like they don't say little girl or anything, they just say princess. But I guess like it's anyone, honestly. Like if there's a little boy wearing a dress, they greet him the same way, so they don't treat him, as different. It's weird, but I feel like that's kind of the same thing.
They're trying to be
like they're not
to it. Yeah, that's actually pretty rejuvenating here. I mean, like when we got that order to approach it that way with Lego Store, I was pretty proud of that. How customers felt about that was totally different. Like I had a mother pretty much just chew me out for not letting her know where girls would go.
Like, is she colorblind? Like, I don't understand. Is she
exactly? She's like, I have something for my daughter. I'm trying to get a present for my daughter. What do you think she would like? I'm like, and then my next questioning would be like, well, what is she into?
See, that's how it should be.
Like, what? The Lego stores are not that big, first of all. It's like I get that, like, maybe people want to have like some kind of human interaction.
I think she wanted a more focal point instead of just like that's where all the girls would shop. I think she wanted me to literally choose something from that section for her.
Well, she just wanted to not think about anything in any way, shape, or form, which is probably why she had those opinions in the first place. So she wanted you to spoon feed her whatever she needed to give her daughter, even though she's the one that's supposed to know her child.
Exactly. Well, the fact that it wasn't like I asked her, well, is she? I didn't even bring up Friends. Was not even the first thought into my head. It actually wasn't even one of the options that I gave her. I'm like, well, does she like Star Wars? Does she like these cars on the like these giant? I don't even know how old she is. So does she like these buildings on the right? Does she like these action like superheroes right here on the left? Does she like to build city? I didn't even bring up Friends, and I think she was upset that I didn't bring up Friends.
But like that is such, I don't know.
That's
not very descriptive.
She was literally like, she literally said, "Don't give me that liberal bullshit, and just tell me what girls are into." I'm like, I don't know what your girls are into.
Isn't that what you are?
I am a man.
She wanted you to tell her, Shy.
Exactly.
Yeah, she needed a man to tell her how to live her life.
But at the same time, I had this boy come in. He was, I would say, I would peg anywhere between 13 and 15. And he was dressed like a girl.
Or he was dressed like more cliche girl.
Yes, sure. Yeah. Dress.
He was present.
Yeah, sure.
As a female.
You know where I'm getting at.
I do.
I don't want to label him as anything right now because I'm not really sure. I didn't even ask. But he was asking for stuff, or she was asking for stuff. And I pretty much gravitated to whatever she wanted or he wanted. And she, like, literally cried and gave me a hug before she left.
Because I feel like it's because you weren't looking at how they were. You were just going off what they were interested in.
Practice.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's still something that our society is getting used to, and I know California is very like you accept it or you don't. But like it's something that's very touchy, and I, for one, like, I'm not gonna push Luna to go one way or the other. Even Ezra, I'm not gonna push him to go one way or the other. Like I said, Ezra's playing with pink cars right now, and I don't care. Right. We don't have any dolls in the house. I mean, I'm not purposely trying to get it, but if they showed up, then cool. If they want to play with it, that is what it is.
It's gonna happen.
So, like, gender roles, it's something that we're taught, and society's kind of breaking out. I mean, in our friend's podcast yesterday, I heard his friend say something very, very annoying. Find yourself a something wife and have her do all whatever. That was really, I don't know why that bugged me so bad.
So happy I didn't do that.
That's probably because you have a daughter
so
now.
upset. Like, I get it. That's very, nuclear family status, but back in like the 50s and 60s. But I don't want that for my daughter.
Exactly.
Like, I don't
Times
want
change.
that. I don't want her to feel that she needs a man to do everything for her. If she
Preach.
chooses that, cool. But I don't want that to be stuck on her. Like, I don't want you to be placed on a pedestal. That's not what I want for you.
She's.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I want my daughter to be independent also.
Exactly. I want to know that my daughter can kick your ass.
It's a lot of pressure.
Literally.
A lot of pressure.
It is. But you know what? Pressure makes diamonds.
No, but for real though, like, I want to know that, like, if a boy comes to my house, I'm like, yeah, my daughter can fuck you up.
Man.
I'm good. We don't need to talk, bro.
I love it. Do you think that, like, you guys, your dynamics with your partners, raising your kids is different than, like, your generation before? Are you doing
Definitely.
what I think what all parents want to do, and is like, do the best to their ability so that their kids can be parents to the best of their ability to their children. You just kind of get better every generation, a little bit every time.
Yeah.
That was something that my mother told me that really meant a lot. And it's also when you realize that your parents are also human and have faults. But yeah, how are your dynamics between you and your partners? Because they are heterosexual relationships, obviously. But like, how do you influence your kids, and like, how do you try not to break out of gender norms and gender roles?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like my kids are probably too young right now. I feel like there's a certain age, like,
Yeah, I don't think they get that part yet.
yeah,
I think they do. Because
You
they
think so?
Yeah, they do. I think that studies have shown that, like, if they see, like, mommy doing this and daddy doing that, and like the responsibilities that they share, that they don't share, and that the way that mommy and daddy talk to each other. Come on, you guys know that's that.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I guess you would say my wife is definitely more nurturing than I am. I'm definitely more strict. You know what I mean? I'm very stern when it comes to discipline. She can get that way, but she's very, like, forgiving, and I'm not.
So
But I don't know if that's more.
pretty
But I don't know if
cliche.
that's a gender thing or if that's just personality. Because my mother was the one who raised me. You know what I mean? My dad was in and out of my life until I was much old, like into adulthood. Like,
I
so
feel the same way.
my mom was literally beat my ass. Like, she pulled me out of a gang neighborhood. So she taught me how to change oil in my car. So, like,
But you're just a reflection of her, essentially.
for the most part, it's a bad thing. But, like, because we're similar.
See, I feel the same way because, like, my wife, she always tries to make me lay down the law, Like, oh, you got to go in there, discipline them. Which, I do. But then I tell her, too, like, if I do that, they're not going to listen to you. So you got to, you got to go. Because I had I was raised by just my mom also. And she disciplined me the same as, like, if I had a dad. So, like, you can't just leave it on me.
My mom
Can't be
would.
the bad guy. No.
Yeah, my mom would definitely discipline me, but then if I was really in trouble, she would, like, wait till my dad got home later and, like, tell him, so it was like double whammy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
But-
you don't want to tell daddy.
No, but
I don't want him to know.
it hurt my dad more to punish me than my mom did. Like, when I got punished, my dad, until I was older, I didn't realize what he was doing, but he, like, after he would punish me, he'd, like, go off into his bedroom, close the door, and cry because he, like, hated it so much.
Hey, it sucks. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it sucks. It sucks to see your kids in pain, no matter what it is, whether you inflict it or not. It's very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of nerve to, especially when you give them shots.
Oh man, that's the worst.
It's just like,
oh, my son has
you
some shots.
you gotta be strong. Like, if they see you cry, then they're gonna cry. If they see you strong, they're gonna stay strong. Like, that's how it is. So I know.
Why is crying not strong?
Well, because I don't know. That's how I was raised. Okay, I was raised in a hard neighborhood. Right? Yes, I know. My wife's trying to teach me that crying is okay. Yeah, it's not. I don't cry. I cry once in a while.
It's still new. It's still too new.
You have to pee? All right, I'll be right back. Ezra has to use the bathroom.
Handle that.
Perfect timing. I know it's like the greatest transition to fatherhood right there.
Yeah, that's pretty much fatherhood in a nutshell right there.
There's no schedule. It's 100% of the time. I don't know, Ninja. To me, like, the way that, like, I did like that my dad was like a very like emotional, or he's still alive. He's a very emotional guy, and that like I find myself I gravitate more towards like emotional, or the more sensitive guy, like higher EQ, because I find that when you are a little bit closer to your emotions, because everybody feels everything, that's like always going to happen, right? And like there's a reason like Lego is relaxing. There's a reason we watch these YouTube videos and we find comfort in the AFOL community, right? Like we have these emotions that need to be felt and quelched, or whatever it is. Then
exactly,
and
sorry.
No,
that's why I think it's funny when people say like, "Oh, you're emo." Like everyone has emotions. What are you talking about?
We're still talking about the crying part. Okay, so look,
kind of. We're just like I was saying that I really appreciated that my dad was outwardly emotional in front of me as a child, like, and I find myself more attracted to people that have a higher EQ. Having a higher EQ means being closer to your emotions and other people's around you. You know what I mean? That sensitivity, I think, is a skill set rather than something that should be shamed.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
we do get more empathy these days.
Yeah, I get that part. I know I'm one of those that, like, when my kids fall, like, I show no emotion.
Like, I show one emotion.
End up.
That's different. I think that's different, because I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. I remember my mom telling me, she was like, when you fell and you hurt yourself, like, I wouldn't make a big deal about it. And she like really prided herself in that, because she like didn't want me to react to her and to mirror her panic. And it's like, how like anxiety and whatever is like absorbed by like everybody.
Can I just say that?
What?
I'm like, you don't want to show fear, so that way they don't freak out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing with you. I'm literally coming full circle and rationalizing with you. As right now, you literally have your little monster in the room right there with you. It's like, anyway. I just want to
throw him across the living room right now. He's supposed to be asleep.
Don't do it, because they like that, and then they'll come back for more.
Dude, I can't punish him, because if I throw him across the room, he just wants to do it again.
I know, he loves it. He's like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I'm an airplane.
Oh.
That's funny.
What? I lost my train of thought.
I know, we're all over the place today, guys. This is like intense. I think we've gone all over the map with like the last like however many podcasts that we've had in terms of like talking about intense things and fun things. But this, I think, is one of our more personal ones.
This is a scary one.
I mean, yeah, it's.
I think that's what it is. I think it's like we're trying to dance around it without like exposing too much, but trying to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to find that balance. It's a touchy one too, because like right now it's prevalent in society today, and I think that's another thing that's kind of, we don't want to appear like we're being bad parents. You know what I mean? But like,
of course,
for me, like, or worse. Right. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm trying to articulate the way my thoughts are going right now, but I can't.
It's tough, especially like you said, being a parent right now.
Yeah.
Like you can't shelter them, and you don't want to. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, you don't want to shelter them.
So obviously, like, I think it's important to like control like maybe their internet consumption or whatnot, and having toys like Lego and whatever the other ones that there are that have so many creative outlets to it, and it also takes you away from the screen theoretically, unless they're watching YouTube videos.
I deleted, like, there's only two things with YouTube, and that's in our house. That's my phone and my wife's phone. That's it.
Mine. Good.
That's the best.
There's no YouTube on any iPads or the television or anything.
Control that.
Yeah, I don't let them watch YouTube. It's too much.
Yeah, no.
No.
Because they keep changing it. Their attention span's getting like worse and worse and worse. So if he watches anything on a screen, it's a movie and he has to finish it.
There you go.
Interesting. That's good. I get it. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think attentions they get shorter and shorter.
Well, duh.
Blame
Look at our
TikTok.
analytics. People only watch like 2 minutes. Oh, she's coughing COVID. She's choking. No. Hit your chest. Right here.
I blame TikTok.
She's dying.
This is it. Live.
we're gonna watch Clara pass out right now. There's nothing we can do about it.
She gonna have some editing to do. No,
No, leave it.
I'm just kidding.
This is real.
Funny.
This is real.
Live in action.
I'm so vulnerable and emotional talking about kids and
Oh, it's time.
It's not about the future.
Time for you. You're. So my wife didn't want to have kids for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally since I've known her, and I respected that. I'm like, yeah, whatever, we'll see. And then literally when she hit 30, that's when their clock started ticking, and she realized she wanted children.
Well, at 35, your egg health exponentially goes down.
Yeah, we know that. I don't want to bring that up, but you did.
It's okay. Sometimes in some echelons of socioeconomic privilege, you can delay that.
Yeah.
That technology is out there.
Fortunately, we're able to do that nowadays.
Yes, and it is something that I think people should consider in their 20s and stuff like that too, as well. Even people that you never know what's going to happen, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and a lot of those tech companies like pay for it.
I've heard about that.
I mean, my mom had me at 39.
My mom had me at 37.
Yeah.
Like, no,
but I'm also the youngest.
Are you really?
Yeah, she had two. I have a half brother and sister on my mom's side that
That's cool.
are way older.
Damn. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so Ezra's like yelling. No, shut up.
Okay. We can close it out. We have been
No,
going.
let's keep going.
Okay.
I mean,
Good.
so you touched on something that I wanted to kind of focus on, that I didn't want to like give up right away. Otherwise, we'll never talk about it ever again. But we brought up like how we perceive our parents, right? Mothers do this, dads do that. So we're taught at an early age by both visually witnessing what we're seeing and what's programmed into our minds that men should only do this and women should only do that, kind of. Not saying only, but like gravitate this way. So nowadays, where women are not, well, the nuclear family isn't man goes work, women stays home. Now we have women in the workforce that are doing just as well, if not better, than men.
Better.
Yeah. Better. It's true.
Yeah, no, I'm not lying to that. But like for you, like you're a working woman, like it's hard to be to have that line like divided where a man can only do this and a woman can only do that.
It's isolating. It's isolating for sure. There's a lot of men, like heterosexual men, because that's, the demographic that I know, that have a really hard time accepting that. And I think, I think the definition of the whole real man nonsense, which probably should go out the window, but I think it's, that like, but I do think like, I think a good person and someone that deserves the respect and would be a good partner is someone that doesn't care, and like embraces it and enjoys that. You know what I mean? I don't think it should be shamed, So.
I mean, I teach my daughter that, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like,
see, I don't always think that way. Like before I had my daughter, I didn't think women should do everything that men can
I see
do.
what you're saying.
Why?
Okay, yeah.
So, all right, I come from two very machismo backgrounds, right? The military and the biker community. The motorcycle community, at least the MC side, is still 20, 30 years behind. It's racially segregated and sexually segregated. Just give it time. It's going to change when the generations flip, hopefully. That being said, the military side is more I want to focus on, right? It's only been recent that women are now allowed to be in combat-related roles. That's like infantry, artillery, like direct contact, not like they've always been pilots. They can be pilots, a long time, but that separates the battlefield very far away from them. So as long as they can hack the whole G-force thing and you can swim forever, they become a pilot. But as far as like direct combat, they weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I guess in Iraq and Afghanistan, where we saw more women getting into combat.
What was like the transition? Was it because of like the need, or was it the stigma?
There's a bunch of variables that kind of started to change all that. One, you're starting to see, female officers becoming higher in the ranking system, and they have nothing on their chest to prove it. And what I mean by something on their chest is the ribbons and medals that they would have on there that you would normally get in combat. Yeah. So you're seeing that. And then
how are they supposed to manage and command and be in leadership positions without having the experience of the people that you're
exactly that's the thing. So that correlates to each other. And then two, you're starting to see these convoys who are behind the front lines coming to the front lines getting attacked. And the people and the Marines and soldiers that are in those convoys are sometimes female. So now you're all Marines are taught to fight like infantrymen.
Okay.
A cook knows how to fire a rifle just as good as pretty well.
Right. Less practice, I assume.
Yeah. But that we're all trained to fight. Like we're all trained to do what infantrymen do. We just don't do it as much as they do, and they're obviously better at it because that's all they do. But everyone knows how to pick up a machine gun and shoot it. So we're all trained to do that. So you're seeing more of that as the wars progressed. All that kind of stuff. And there were units called Lioness, and in Iraq and Afghanistan we have a very different type of culture and like atmosphere where if a woman's in front of me, I can't look at her. I can't like an Arabic woman. I can't look at her. I can't touch her or whatever. If she were to come up to me and she's like missing half an arm because she got blown up, I can't touch her because she's a woman. Yeah. Because if I were to help her save
in her society,
exactly. If I were to help her save her, she goes back to her village. She gets stoned to death or whatever. So, and that's happened. That situation has literally happened to me where I have this little boy and this girl pegging around 17 or 18. Something happened. It wasn't us. I checked everything in the computer with every unit nearby. No one fired a damn thing. There was no contact in the past 3 weeks. Whatever they sustained was recent. We can't understand what the hell they're saying because we don't have a translator. So I'm assuming they had something and exploded. So I had to tell my command, and then our command literally had to risk us getting a male from their village to be able to witness us helping her. And in that time period, that's like 5 hours of work that she could have been saved. Well, she eventually lived, but like you see like the kind of dilemma that we're placed in as, being in that type of world, whereas a need for what we would call a lioness became more prevalent, which is female Marine units.
If there was a female with you, that would have been immediate.
Because she would be right there watching, saying nothing happened, all that kind of stuff. So you're starting to see more of that with more women coming into like combat related areas. Okay. So that's the next variable is now you're seeing it. So now with that side coming from the inside internally, you also have this societal push from Congress, from people like, why aren't we seeing women in combat related things? And the main barrier to that was, well, they can't hack it physically, because in the Marine Corps, I can only speak for the Marines, I can't speak the other ones. There's 2 different types of tests for every test that we have, like a physical test. Like our standards here for men, women's standards are here for women, but the way they get to here are totally different. So for example, a male to get when I was in, to be able to get a full 100 points, you have to do 20 pull-ups properly. For a woman, it's not 20 pull-ups. You have to hang there for 2 minutes like this.
What?
Yeah.
Apparently it's extreme.
Men can't hang like that for 2 minutes because I tried.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard. And women have a hard time going up and down because their body strength comes from below their legs, not above whatever. So that's the physical part. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's our times are a little bit off as far as running, and like it's not the same. So we're not in the level playing field. And for an infantryman to be able to do what they do, you got to carry 250 pounds of weight, not including your ammunition and everything else.
Yeah,
like 15 miles, and you got to keep up. So the Marines were very strict about this, very strict. Yeah. The other branches already, desegregated all their boot camps and all that kind of stuff. So every boot camp or training period cycle is all unisex at that point. The Marines currently to this day are the only ones that separate male and female. Women, you go train over there, men over here. It's not till after boot camp then you start to intermix. That's a whole topic on itself. But then I
was gonna say I know that there's a lot of issues with that.
Yeah. So we have the whole rule where we want to take out sexuality as a thing. We want to remove that because the point of the Marine is to completely boot camp is completely erase everything in your head that you've been taught,
right,
and then remold you. So that's our our Marine Corps way of life, and right now it's working, but we'll see how long that lasts. But now it's like before every branch started to do it, like the first women to go to Ranger School in the Army, which is an elite unit, they all failed. They kept failing. We started doing the same thing in the Marine Corps. We started getting volunteers to try the Marine Corps training for infantrymen, and they kept failing out of school of infantry because we did not want to lower that bar. If you want to be an infantryman, cool, keep up.
Yeah.
So, I feel like if they earn it, then it should be.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It took.
Should be. Legit.
I think the Army dropped their standard to be able to allow women to pass, and that's what pissed off them. Like the military in general, like what the hell?
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You should not drop the standard. So,
but I think that's really narrow-minded though, because it's like, if for maybe other men you're dropping the standard, but it's not like there's just so many different roles and needs, and like you outlined, like in that opportune moment, having a more diverse unit would have been the better option. Like, why can't strategy be adjusted?
If you and I have to make it to 15 miles from here carrying all of our shit and we have 5 minutes to do it, if we don't make it there, we're going to both die. That's why.
I feel like it should be different classes.
And that's the thing that society doesn't understand is that self-identification in the military does not exist. Self-identification in the military destroys you.
Right, because you're a large, you're part of a mass, and that's how it works.
And a lot of civilians as a whole don't understand that, and that's what was pissing the military. It's like, shut up, you know what you're talking about. But we're gonna keep testing what you want. But eventually, the first females to pass the school of infantry without lowering that standard. It was just fine for women to be able to do it.
This might be a controversial question, but was there any kind of data taken for testosterone levels of the women that were failing or passing?
I'm sure there were, but that stuff was not released.
It's because I think that would be really fascinating, because that would be opportunities. I don't know this. I'm going to get shunned, but there are men and women, and then there's it's a scale of sorts. I'm trying to skirt the issue, but I'm wondering if just because it's not our topic today and it is an isolating topic, is that an opportunity for someone that might fall in the middle?
I get what you're saying.
To sneak in,
not to sneak in as something that would be elevated, because it's you know what I mean? It's you have the physical prowess to achieve the rubric and the tests that you've outlined, but also could be perceived in that civilian interaction that you had to benefit whatever the situation was.
Yeah, there's this vet. There's a huge vet YouTube community, and one of them plays that role really hilarious. It's hilarious.
As a joke.
As a joke.
Okay. Well,
really funny. No, but I mean, he outlines a lot of points that's very progressive. He just does it in a way that's very it's veteran humor.
Relatable. Yeah. Okay.
It's veteran humor. If you were to watch it, you would be totally offended. But us as veterans would be like, ha, I get it.
Right, because you existed in a universe that was completely independent. Right. There's a reason you guys have your own laws and things like that. I get it, and I respect it and stuff. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box. But yeah,
that's totally fair. Well, like I said, that's what I'm saying. All right now is all the past. Now, women can literally do whatever they want in the military, and it took those women to finally step up it was really hard just to find those women that were not only brave enough to say, let me try, but were strong enough to actually pass and prove everybody wrong.
Right.
And
without lowering the standard.
And think how good that medal feels now that they earned that too. They're like, damn.
Exactly. So
like, we can do
this.
It's
almost like their medal should be bigger. It's like even harder. It's like the barrier to entry is even harder for them though at that point.
Well, as a female Marine, you already have to prove yourself more so than anything else. Yeah. Right. Now you have to prove yourself even more. And I would say, I can't speak for the generation now, but what I see on social media, it's like what I thought in the past is archaic. Like it's not even how they think now. So
that's good. We're modernizing.
It's definitely different. Like, at least what I see on social media, I can't really speak to anything else, but there's a huge sense of empowerment by women that I can see on social media in the military. So that's it's really good and refreshing to see, which leads to how I felt when I actually had my daughter. Like when I had my daughter, all that, like that mentality I just explained right now flipped, gone, whatever. I don't want any of that. I want my daughter to be able to do whatever my son can do. If he wants to join the infantry and she wants to follow, fine, keep up. And I'm gonna talk to Ezra, like, you better keep up because she's gonna kick your ass.
Do you think something changed chemically in your brain when you had her, or
I don't know. It's just I look at her and I'm like, I want you to be like your mother. I want you to be very strong. I want you to be like your grandmothers. Like Venus is like my wife's mom literally picked up everything from Mexico and brought them over here, and like, had nothing, right? They weren't even legal, but they became legalized. She put them through school, taught them English, got them both to college, and they both have houses and families here, careers, something that she didn't even think was possible for Mexico. And she came from cartel land. So like it's, and my mom, same thing. She picked up everything that, my family in the Philippines, we're powerful. I don't even know why she left. She just wanted to be rogue and do her own thing. Can't come here to become something. And
she wanted independence.
Yeah, she just wanted to be independent. And like, I want my daughter to be a strong woman, just like the women in her family. That's very simple. And I don't want like very much, and I have a very machismo male side on both of our families. I don't want her to be like pushed down because we say you should be in the kitchen. And none of us would ever say that because we have women in the military on our side too. But like, I don't want her to feel like pressured to be a Christian wife, as some people would eloquently put it.
Is that what
a nice Christian California girl? Shots fired.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's.
I feel like keep my mouth shut today.
I feel like it's because I don't know. Once you hold your daughter, you start realizing things.
Yeah.
For the first time, you're like, you know what? I was probably an idiot.
No, really.
No, I was stupid. Like the way I thought about like that sex is like not cool. Not cool. And the way I like treat, talk, or I've never spoke ill, and I've always supported whatever women wanted to do, but now more so like, you want to run for president, you can go for it, girl, as long as you go to school and you do good, you'll be fine.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like that totally flipped.
You're responsible for protecting your children from like the world, and setting them up for success, right? Hopefully that's how you view it, and part of that is preparing them for a world where you're not there, and
that's the scary part.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That terrifies me.
That's another thing. Like you think about that, and you think of how you used to be as a youngster, and you think about your daughter in a world like that, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly. And we both come from a world that's really
really different. Yeah. So
a better world for your kids.
Definitely.
Well, we always do. We always want what's better. We always want them to have what we never had. But what I don't want to do is shield them from reality sometimes, because it's
well, they can't protect themselves from it if you shield them from it. That's a different thing.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like
I want them to be prepared for whatever comes their way. That's it.
What is it? It's like a vaccine. You build up
Immune
immunities.
Yeah. I feel like this should have been our Father's Day special edition. Because you guys are awesome, and it's great, you know, how openly you talk about your kids and your love for them and like what you want to do and how you want to protect them. It's
You'll get there soon.
We'll see in due course, you know. Nothing should be forced.
Are you sure you're not pregnant right now?
You know, COVID has made it you know, really the line is clear.
It's definitely that's funny.
Anyway, guys, I think that wraps it up for the night. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sure.
I think we'll close it off on a sentimental note. You know, I hope we touched on the parents out there who, you know, do Lego and play Lego with their kids, but you know, it means a lot more than just like, you know, dicking around with some plastic bits. You know,
the world is real.
World is real, and the time that you spend with your kids is really precious and valuable, and your kids will theoretically and ideally appreciate it and grow from it. So anyway, guys,
most definitely.
Yeet.
So that's it.
That's it. Have a good one, guys.
Later, guys.
That's it.
Peace.
Bye.